Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Art of Living Children and Teens Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We are very happy to present episode 3 of the Happy School, Happy Child Confluence, the panel discussion with principals, eminent leaders in education. We have a wonderful panel of speakers with us, very senior in their experience and very large hearted when they think of children, when it comes to children. I'm very happy to be here with all of us in welcoming Mr. Aloysius D Mello. D Mello, sir, is the principal of Greenwood High International and ICSE School in Bangalore. Welcome, D Mello, sir, to this session. I think, yes. Captain Sridhar, welcome. Group Captain Sridhar ji, welcome. Sridhar ji, good evening. So happy and proud to have you with us, sir. Sridhar ji is retired from the Indian Air Force, and he has served the Air Force, and he was also the director of the Air Force schools. He has also served as the principal of Sainik School, both in Himachal Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Currently, Sridhar ji is the correspondent of Bala Vidya Mandir, Chennai. Welcome to this program, Captain Sridhar ji. Very honored to have you with us. May I request you?
So happy.
May I request you to please share 2 lines about yourself, sir?
Good evening, everyone. This is Group Captain Sridhar. I'm born and brought up at Chennai. Presently living in Chennai also. And I was in the Air Force, joined Air Force as an education officer from 1985. And 2 years back, I retired as the principal of Sainik School, Amravati Nagar, which is there in Tamil Nadu. So presently, I'm the correspondent of Bala Vidya Mandir, a very reputed school in Chennai. And in the Air Force, I was basically involved with training, educational activities, especially schools. In between, I had done other jobs also, like intelligence activities. There's also recruitment. In recruitment, I had done psychological testing, especially group testing. So today we'll discuss basically about schools. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to contribute something. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would like to invite Manju Sharma ma'am. She is the principal of DPS, Delhi Public School, South Bangalore. Ma'am, welcome to the show. This particular panel discussion that we are hosting for Happy School, Happy Child. Manju Sharma ma'am, welcome.
Thank you so much, Gauri. And it's my pleasure to be here this evening. I'm delighted to be here among such eminent personalities and looking forward to hearing their views.
Ma'am, we are very impressed when we were going through your bio, and the most impressive lines were that you believe in investing in the youth because they are the ambassadors,
yes,
for
yes.
tomorrow, and no effort must be spared to invest in this great resource. Hats off to you, ma'am, for leading 7,000 children in education.
Thank you.
Ma'am, we would like to listen to you as well, a little bit about yourself.
I started my teaching career in the year 1991. And my husband being in the army, I've had the opportunity to serve in many schools all across the country till I relocated to Bangalore. Relocated because I was brought up here. I've had my education here. So I moved here in the year 2003 and joined DPS Bangalore and took over as the principal in the year 2006 when the school strength was around 1,500. Since then, the school has grown by leaps and bounds. It has become one of the leading schools in Bangalore. And Yeah, we do believe our core philosophy in the Delhi public schools is to prepare the children for the future. That is why I was delighted when I got this topic from you, and I said I must join in and have the opportunity to listen and share with everybody else also.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. We are also very, very happy to have you with us. Thank you. I would like to invite Aloysius sir, Mr. Aloysius D Mello sir. Wonderful to have you with us, sir. Sir, may I request you to please unmute yourself?
Yeah, here you are.
Yes. Uh, um, Again, Aloysius sir has done his education in mathematics and he's a wonderful maths teacher. But what makes him so wonderful is that he has children in his heart. He believes that children should learn happiness and learn in happiness. And every child, whoever, whether they are, excellent or not, is taken into his school, and he believes in changing or rather elevating an average student to excellence. So nice to have you with us, Aloysius sir. Welcome, and we would love to hear a few lines about yourself, please.
I started teaching by mistake. It's a long story. However, I got into teaching mathematics. I love the subject. But what is great about the school and the one which I have brought up from 150 students to 5,000 is the
Wow.
fact that I believe that every child born is a testimony that God loves this world. And it's important that we take each child and hone their skills. So in our school, I really love to have a child who is around an average child, and we push the child to excellence. And that's why this school has grown the way it is. And I still believe it, and all my teachers believe this, and that's how we've run this school. Thank you very much for having me on this show. I loved your caption, Happy Child, which is really what I embody in the school. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Next, I would like to invite Dakshayani ma'am. Dakshayani ma'am is the principal of Harvest International School, Sarjapur, Bangalore. She is an alumnus of Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. She has served as the director and principal of several schools as well as business schools. She is also the resource person for CBSE Center of Excellence. We would like to invite Dakshayani ma'am to this program. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Gauri, for this opportunity to be with eminent panelists. I would like to say that I'm a teacher at heart. That's what I am. And as Manju ma'am said, my husband was also in army. And being a young officer, most of the time we spent in Kashmir. And that was the time when I started teaching. And then, basically I come from a family of teachers. So probably it runs in the blood. So I took over different jobs and different schools because of the transfer of my husband. And when we came to Bangalore, which is my hometown, my daughter was in 8th standard. I said, now it's time for me to settle down at one place and then start. And that's how my career started in teaching as such. I have seen kids who have been very, very happy without schooling in Kashmir. So we were all restricted to our places. We couldn't go out. So all the kids used to come home to learn. And that is I think I enjoyed that the most. And the same philosophy as everybody mentioned here, Harvest believes in taking education beyond classrooms. What I believe in is that if the teacher is happy, the community of teacher is happy, the whole school becomes happy. It is something like, automatically transfers and then the class remains happy. I do believe in creating an atmosphere which is really happy, and then, it reflects the culture of the school. I think once this comes, everything will fall in place. Thank you so much for the opportunity. There are eminent speakers and there's lots to learn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. It is so heartening to see all of you who are so successful and so high up, coming across with your simplicity also. I really think great leaders, the strength is their simplicity and their humility. Thank you so much for inspiring us. I would now like to call Mr. Arindam Roy Chowdhury. Sir is an empaneled master trainer come teacher trainer for Center of Excellence CBSE. He also was the president of North Karnataka Sahodayas. Arindam ji, welcome to this program. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much for having me here. Amongst the eminent, panelists, and two of my great friends who are already there with me here. Yes, of course, I'm more of a mathematics teacher, and just like De Mello sir, and I feel mathematics is a way of life for me. Well, I'm a former principal of Kalpruksha Model School, which comes from a very which is situated in a very in a taluka level in Belgaum district in Karnataka, and I had this opportunity to develop that school. Was there associated for the last 13 years, and so I was associated in not only developing systemic process orientation. So that was a wonderful learning experience for me, and I personally feel that yes, of course, my heart lies also towards teacher training, which I feel I really enjoy doing that. But definitely, to top it all, mathematics is something which I live for. And most importantly, I consider myself as a very happy lifelong learner. So that's all about me. Yes, take it forward from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And, I would want to also confess and also reveal that today's topic actually came from our last panelist, Dr. Vasanthi Tyagarajan ji. She is a scholar and she is a very leading educationist. And she inspired us last week with a discussion again among other distinguished speakers, where she said, how do we prepare our children to fit into the industry? How do we bridge the gap between schooling and finally when they get into their workspace, So I would like to thank Vasanthi ma'am for this opportunity to share this platform with all of you here. Now, I would like to start with Arindam ji. What are the factors that anyone would look for in an industry? Is it only professional skills? Is it only academic excellence? Or is there something more? Over to you, sir. Arindam ji, are you able to hear us?
Yes, please. I'm not able to. Can you just repeat the question, please? Sorry, I just missed your question. I'm not able to hear it. So can
No
you just repeat
problem.
the question?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes. So what are the factors that ensure a child to progress from academics to industry?
I have got a broken, I couldn't hear you clearly.
Okay,
but what
I will just
I've understood is what you're
yes.
trying to, yeah, just type the question. Maybe that'll help me out.
Yes.
Because your voice is cracking. I'm not able to hear it. So if you're trying to ask the connect between academic and industry, that's what are you trying to ask?
Yes, that's
if I'm
right.
not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's great. Okay. See, I personally think that let me come to mathematics because that's what I personally feel I connect myself with. Mathematics, I will of course not deviate from the point.
I think the connection is a little bad because he's got heavy rains out there. So I would like to pass on this a question to De Mello, sir.
Yeah, let me get into this a little. I have many parents who are in very high positions in MNCs, and they come back to me and say, "I have interviewed so many people who are brilliant, but I don't find them suited to the job that I want." And when I keep querying this, the main problem that we look at is the child academically oriented? But the industry today is totally different. The industry requires children who are street smart, a
Yes.
person who is in a position to take up a job, a person who can decide. That's very important. And the future is for people who will decide. It's important that people decide. And when we are not academically, we are only academically oriented, and we really do not have the skills that are required for decision and for speaking. That is where the industry finds a difficulty. And at our school, we do this right from grade 9. We make them oriented to speak. Now, public speaking is something which is very important. It's important to share your views. It's important to argue. It's important to debate. And that's what we really do. And we take this right up to grade 12 when we orient the child to understand the industry that is there in front of him. So they choose subjects, and we sit with them. Our counselors speak to them, the teachers speak to them. So many of our students, when they get out and get into universities, both in India and abroad, and move seamlessly into the industry, it's something to be really proud of. That's what we do at our school, and I hope I've answered your question.
Wonderfully well, sir. I really admire what you do. Manju ma'am, how about you? Manju ma'am, you may need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just like De Mello sir said, yes, the emphasis is on public speaking, on making the children confident about themselves. And my aim is that when the child leaves the portals of the school at the end of grade 12, he should be ready to face any challenge. He should be ready to take on the world. I keep telling the children that also. While you're in school, you're so sheltered. But at the same time, there's a huge world outside. And we need to train our children to face that world and to take on these challenges. So, public speaking, yes, in fact, we started right from the kindergarten level itself, where the children are encouraged to come forward and to speak a little bit about themselves or about their favorite toys and so on and so forth. And as we go up the ladder, the classes, as the children grow, we have something like model TED Talks in the school. In fact, our grade 5 children do that every year, and they do it wonderfully well. And the senior classes, 8th upwards, we have our model UN, where we encourage all the students to take part and express themselves with conviction. I think that is what matters most. You need to express yourself in a confident manner and with conviction of thought. That would, make a child ready to face anybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Manju ma'am. Now, my question to Dakshayani ma'am is, we have spoken about decision making, we have spoken about public speaking, how to face challenges. Now, how do we also, because once a student goes out of school or college, and when they enter the industry or in an office space, there is bound to be a lot of criticism also that comes up. In fact, we are all aware as leaders, it was not easy to be where we are right now. We've had our bouquets and brickbats also. So how do we, develop this ability in students to handle criticism? Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Gauri. A very relevant question, basically, in today's world. Children are sheltered, as Manju ma'am said. We give lot of prominence to taking care of them. And when you're looking at them, you get them everything. One of the behavioralists was talking to me. She said, today kids are not able to speak at 2.5 or 1.5 only because the mother is ready with everything. Before the child asks for water, she gives water. Before the child says food, it is given to them. So this is what happens, and most of the time we don't give them relevant feedback. Either you say you're extremely good, or just don't give them proper feedback. That is the problem. Children are emotionally very weak. They're not able to handle any kind of failure. So I would feel that this ability can be developed in the class, which we do in school, not as a separate activity. This has to be there in every class. It has to be a integrated activity. And every time the child does something like this, we need to ensure that the child knows how to handle emotions. I was just going through, we do a session on happy classrooms and happy teachers, all of us have been doing. In that, the child should be able to understand that I cannot be good in everything. I need to take constructive criticism in the right way and make it a point to develop my abilities in that area. That can be very easily done by group activities that are done in the class. It could be science, it could be math, it could be English, it could be anything for that matter. The feedback, we'll have to teach them how to give feedback, how to take feedback. I think this will sort out a lot of problems. There has to be communication. As De Mello sir said, communication is the key. The way they express themselves, even if they want to say no to something that is expected of them, they should be knowing how to give an alternate solution and say, can I do this? So that kind of ability of communication and also taking criticism constructively is given. They know that failure is not in everything. There is a stage where everybody fails, but that's an opportunity to do better next time. If this feeling comes in, definitely kids will be able to handle themselves. They'll be very confident and they will change. They will come up. The Stephen Covey's, program that is there. Basically, they develop thinking skills, reflect, say what we did is wrong. Now what we need to do next. That kind of attitude will come in. I think this is the key. And we have been able to use it in our school to some extent. We need to continue doing it. Thank you. Thank you, Gauri.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Captain Sridharji, my question is to you. Could you please tell us more about, the Sainik schools and the Indian Air Force schools, the schools where you have been the director and principal also? How is it different from a regular school?
Okay. Regarding the Sainik schools, they have been established all over the country. Almost in every state, there is one Sainik school. So these were the brainchild of the former Indian Defense Minister, Mr. Krishna. Basically, he wanted that among the officer community in the armed forces, he wanted a widespread. He didn't want a particular class or particular regional bias should come. So he wanted to spread it all over the country. So he wanted these schools to be started in rural and small towns, so that the children from those areas will get an opportunity to have a public school education at an affordable price. What we do in this school is somewhat a little bit of regimentation, and we train the children from 6th standard onwards. And mind, body, and character develop that in such a manner that they become ready to take leadership roles in the armed forces. It's totally oriented towards the armed forces that they get entry into the National Defense Academy, so that they have that power for the national this thing that they want to serve the country, and they become subsequently the officers in the armed forces and take it forward. So many of them have become chiefs and other things and have very high position in the armed forces. That is the basic idea. Okay. Secondly, about the discussion with the other panelists and all about discussing as to what the industry requires and what the school we can do. So from what I've seen from various discussions and other things, what they are saying is first is knowledge. Even though academics is not everything, but academics is also a very, very important aspect. First is knowledge base should be there because that gives a scale as to how to measure this thing, as to how much is the grasping power. Second is problem solving ability. A problem, how fast, a simple problem in a given environment, within the time frame, are they able to come out with a solution. Third is creative thinking. A problem, how they see the problem from different angle to see that if they can arrive at a solution. Of course, numerical ability is there. Both D Mello sir and Raymond Chaudhary are there. Mathematical ability, numerical ability is also very much they go into that. And the last aspect, which is very, very important, which we see in the armed forces also, is the social ability. How you gel with the crowd, how you move with your friends, like this. So in this, it's a very important stage is that between the school and the industry, this important stage is the university, where the skills which are learned in the school, especially the social skills and other things, so it gets groomed and well developed when they go to a university where there is slightly unknown atmosphere. From a known atmosphere to unknown atmosphere, they develop their further skills and then they become well-rounded personality to tackle the problems in the life. So this is what is the industry is looking for. As far as our school is concerned, what we do is we prepare the children to, apart from public speaking and all those things, and also in a sort of a event management. We conduct in our schools, must be other schools also are doing, like the literary utsav, legal symposium, commerce symposium, max expo, and all that, wherein the children are told to organize the entire thing. They will pick up these speakers, they will get the panelists and all, of course guided by the teacher. And it also gives them an ability to little bit of problem solving and creative thinking and also be on the button as far as the basic subject is concerned. If we do them, I mean, just pick their brain, give them the opportunity to organize all those things, they will be in a much better position. If they go, they become much more confident to handle all these problems when it comes at a later stage. This, in brief, is what I thought I'll share with you.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. And I also believe in this where we give the responsibility to the students and they take it up. And by taking up responsibility, it increases their abilities. Like how you have mentioned so correctly, critical thinking, problem solving. I mean, all of us have been sharing the same thing. Now, why I would like to just I want all the parents who are listening to us to also note that all the eminent panelists out here have been focusing on life skills, social skills, the other skills, not only academics. What happens in this drive, in this run, normally, there is a tendency only to focus on academics. Yeah, but there is something beyond academics. There is these soft skills, there is these life skills which are as important. And like Dakshayani ma'am had said earlier, even to drink water, the child calls on the mother. Yes, some children don't even know how to tie their own shoelace. It's because we've been spoon feeding them so much. But if you empower the youth, the teenagers, children to do things on their own, then these skills develop in them, these abilities develop in them, and they become more confident and more self assured. I'm sure all of you agree with me on this. I would now like to invite Ms. Mala Sundareshan ji. She is the Director of National and International Programs for the Art of Living Children and Teens. Ms. Mala Sundareshan is also a former cricketer. She has played for India and she is also the cricket coach for the Karnataka women's cricket team. She is also the Ekalavya awardee. Welcome, Ms. Mala Sundareshan, to this discussion.
Thanks, Lori, and my regards to everybody, all the panelists here. I can see it's full of very, very wise people around. So, thank you so much for inviting me on this call.
We are waiting to interact with you more, Malaji. I would request you to please take the lead, and Aloysius sir, everybody was happy to hear that you are coming.
Oh, I mean, I am a sportsman at heart, and I was, of course, listening to everybody speaking about so many other skills being given to kids so that they are future ready. And when they go out from schools or colleges, they don't need that much of an integration into the industry or into any jobs that they are going into. And as a sportsman, I learned absolutely everything that I know through sports, be it teamwork, be it whatever. So I just would like to, understand from everybody here as to what are your thoughts on the physical fitness levels and how do they work on the child's mind, and what are your experiences with kids who are sportive. So if you could share, that would be really nice to hear from all of you.
D Mello sir?
Yeah. Um, let me point out something which I face in my school. Uh, I have represented my school in soccer and in football, and sorry, soccer and hockey, right up to grade 11. In my days, we had grade 11 where we were in school. I was in St. Xavier's, Mumbai. And I remember that we had to go in through physical education, and it was brilliant. That time there was no turf. We played in mud. We fell down a million times. And every time we fell down, we were happy that we had fallen because we knew that the wounds would be healed. But in today's world, except for a few children, most of the parents do not want their children to be exposed to, let's say, the dust. Some of them have got dust allergy because I really don't know which part of the world there is no dust. Some of them have got sun allergy because for some reason, except in Iceland, for some part of the world, there is no sun, or in the Netherlands, for instance. So we need to get the parents to understand that unless the child is exposed to physical training and to games, discipline doesn't come at all. You can't instill discipline. It's a game that makes you disciplined. And it's important that everyone on the panel and probably all the parents who are hearing me have gone through discipline. And that's why they are where they are today. So rather than us mollycoddling our children, it is important that we expose our children to the rudiments of sport, and with that, they get discipline and they become better citizens of this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And if others would like to share their thoughts, Manju, if you could.
Yeah, I would think that sports persons are very well-rounded personalities. It's the sports field that creates a personality, and where there is physical fitness, there is mental toughness, and both go hand in hand, and both are vital for a child to be a team player, which is very important for their future. The robustness and the resilience that they develop on the sports field is something that will take them far. And apart from that, I also feel that a sports field is a ground for breeding values in a child. The children learn what is fair, what is not fair. Their leadership skills are exhibited on the sports ground, and fitting into a team, helping each other out when one child falls, another is there to pick him up. So these are qualities that would, go a long way in developing the personality of any child and helping them to prepare for the future. Thank you.
Yeah, I think very rightly put, Manju. Bringing mental toughness in children is not so easy as we talk, but I think it is something that kids learn on the TV.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
Yes. Can I add to that? Another thing that a very, very valuable lesson that a child learns on the playfield is learning to lose.
Yeah. That is
Because
exactly what I was.
everywhere, everybody, every parent wants their child to be a winner. And it is so difficult for such a child who is so used to winning or standing first all the time to accept that he is not there in the top position. So on the playfield children learn to lose, and I think that's an immensely valuable lesson for any child to learn.
Yeah. Um, Rightly put, ma'am. I was actually coming to that, to the lesson of celebrating the sport, whether you win or you lose. At the moment, being in the sport 100%, the journey that we undertake of playing the sport, I think that is a fantastic, very valuable lesson for all of us, not just kids. And that is also another thing that we do speak about in our programs, where it is okay to fail as long as you really have given your 100%. uh, Giving 100% is of paramount importance. After that, if you have given the 100%, there is no regret in it whether you win or you lose, because there is no first place for 100 kids or 200 kids. It's okay to be one amongst the group. Captain Sir, I'm sure in the army schools we would see a lot more, kids who are encouraged to do a lot more physical activity. What has been your experience, sir?
In the Sainik schools, we have a lot of emphasis on the physical fitness. Starting from 5 o'clock in the morning, they get to run in the morning. They'll be woken up at 5:30, start running, and we'll have to take it into consideration that Sainik School Amravati Nagar has 200-acre land. We have around 12 basketball courts, 6 hockey fields, 6 football fields. So it's a very huge luxury. They do play, they do get injured, and all those things. That's a now I'm trying to relate it to a school in the city. Okay, these things cannot be afforded. But here, what Manju Madam was saying is, we have to make do with what we have. Now the mindset of the parents, if there is a slight because of the current situation as far as security is concerned, we are not allowing the children to step out of the house the maximum of the time. But we'll have to overcome this where the children are given that free time to go around. Second thing, one of the secure places is the school. The school doesn't have that much of a play area. Most of the schools have very limited play area. Even if the child is wanting to play or interested in playing, because of the other reasons that you have to catch the transport, they are forced to leave the ground as early as possible. And so we'll have to hit upon some solution in this way the children are able to spend much more time on the fields wherever it is available. How we can stagger the timings and get them on the field so that at least they interact with each other and all those things. I mean, that is very, very important. Group activities, especially sports, is very, very important. And over and above this, COVID also has come now. It is become a very big problem. I'm sure that it will be over within maybe 60 days or so. And we'll be back to our old bad normal, because the new normal is not that good. So we'll be back to our normal, and I only wish that a little bit of environment changes, mindset changes, that our children are given much more freedom to move around. And the core point is interaction with others. That is very, very important. Unless you interact with others, that social bonding, social skills one will not develop. The sports, of course, is very important. A sound body in a sound mind in a sound body, we all. Okay, but how to do it? If you can afford such a big school with 200 acres of much more land, it's very easy. You don't require any thought process to go into that. But how to do it in a smaller area? How to get these facilities? Like for instance, I'll take one more minute. Like and in the school in Delhi, what we used to do is we used to use the Talktora swimming pool. We used to tie up there. get our children, tell their parents to get the children to the swimming pool in the morning, and we'll use our school buses to fetch them back after this thing. So whatever facilities are available in the nearby areas, we should tap all those facilities so that when it is not being utilized, the school can utilize. This is one of the thought process I thought it's worth
Thank,
sharing.
thank you, Sridharji. I would like to also ask a question. As we talk about the future readiness of children, we have spoken about critical thinking, we have spoken about problem solving, we have spoken about empathy and caring. Uh, what about change management? I mean, like in the current situation that we are all going through, it's been like a revolution in the process of thinking for all of us, from regular offline good old school buildings to now we have moved on to the digital platform. And I must congratulate all the principals, all the teachers who have really put up their act together and have supported parents and children by providing online classes. Yes. So, how do we help? Now, as leaders, you have shown us that you have excelled in change management. How do we bring this aspect in children? Because I think this is very essential now. How do you cope with change without buckling down? Uh, Dakshayani ma'am, and then over to Aloysius sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Gauri. Basically, this is a wonderful question because it's very relevant in today's times. And you won't believe if I tell you children have managed change better than adults. This had to happen because, education had to go online. It would have taken another 10, 20 years, I don't know how long, but COVID has enhanced and it has made it, accelerated the process, I would say. So what has happened, we have no choice. We have been thrown into the sea, we have to swim. So all the teachers here are trying their best. I really pity them because, first of all, we're experts in pedagogy. When it comes to technology, we find it little difficult. We have to learn and implement. Learning is not a problem. Teachers would do anything for children. They don't mind struggling, learning, and then, taking the tools and teaching. But at the same time, they need to actually take care of their homes. They're at home. They have to cook 5 times a day. They have to take care of the needs of the family and everything. In this situation, I would like to tell you that there are a lot of parents and students who have helped the teachers to learn and then, manage online teaching. So I think to some extent, this change management has become seamless now because everybody is taking responsibility. I wouldn't say it is 100%, in place because as all the panelists said, one of the most important things that happens in school is physical education. The exercise, the play, and that's what they are very, very happy. They learn that individual performance is nothing. It is together as a team that we win or lose, whatever. They develop that kind of empathy, that kind of team, readiness, which is actually required when they go into industry. But when it happens here, at this particular moment, maybe for another month, I pray and hope that it is not going to be more than that. Children are able to manage change beautifully because it is technology oriented now and they're the natives of technology. They have been able to manage. Only thing is they're stuck. You just imagine a child who hasn't been able to talk to his friends, go out physically. As soon as the teacher is teaching in the class, they'll have some small moments of talking to each other and then, enjoying. All that is not available for them now. So they are trying to make this because academics is available at the fingertips for them. So apart from that, what we spoke about is 21st century skills, being with their friends and teachers, enjoying the physical activities that happen in the school, all that is not happening. It is difficult for them. There are lots of helplines that have come in. MHRD has come with Mano Darpan, and CBSE has its own helpline. States are having their own helpline. We see that lots of kids have gotten into depression. So there has to be a continuous orientation of the children. Even if you're not teaching, as Mello sir said and Manju ma'am said, connect with the kids, have some activities to ensure that they are in touch with each other, they can open up, they can talk. That is one thing I feel that we need to take it on a far footing and then, help them do it. So change management has to be thought through, and whatever is possible in the given situation have to be addressed. Every school has to ensure that teachers are empowered, parents are empowered. They are also stressed because they've never had kids 24/7 with them. We used to take at least 8 hours of it. During weekends, they had the opportunity to take them out to a mall, etc. Now, nothing is there. And the energies that are in these teenagers and also younger kids, how will it come out? There is absolutely nothing. So the activities that are happening, like, Ms. Mala said, there has to be physical activities. They're having yoga, they're having dance, they're having lots of such activities which will help. But change management is difficult. As it is inevitable, a lot of process have to be put in place, and schools have to actually organize classes, sessions, etc. to ensure that it. Hopefully, we are doing a little bit, whatever we can, and it will continue. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And before we proceed, I would also like to add that the Art of Living Children and Teens programs have also come online. And ever since the lockdown, maybe it may have taken us 4 days before we started free sessions for teenagers and children, where we ensured that, through our techniques and processes, we have been able to help them to increase their energy levels, increase their immunity, make them happy wherever they are, and help them cope as well. And after that, we moved from the free courses to our programs, our regular programs, which often used to happen on the site. Now we've made them online as well, where we have the course. It's called the Medha Yoga for teenagers and Utkarsh Yoga for children, where children learn to breathe out their stress, their frustrations. They are taught pranayams, they are taught the Sudarshan Kriya, the breathing technique. And there are also some processes and few simple tenets of life where we encourage children to handle their emotions much better, handle peer pressure much better, overcome their anger, stage fright, and things like this. So we are very happy to share that we have also been fortunate to have a great team with us, which has helped us reach out to so many children across India and the world as well. Thank you.
Can I add one point here, Gauri?
Yes.
Basically, I think Vasanti ma'am has formed the Happy Teachers and Happy Classrooms course,
Yes.
in which she used, this meditation technique
Yes.
to see how they were feeling before and later. Schools are trying to do that little bit of meditation, and you people are doing a wonderful job. I hope they'll be able to make use of that also. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So over to Aloysius, sir. So we were talking about change management. How do we bring mental agility in children? We have spoken about physical agility and the benefits of sports in shaping up children and their mentality and their emotions. How do we bring about mental agility where the students are able to shift gears from one scene to another? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, I do agree a lot with what was said before. And I must congratulate my teachers for having shifted from an online, for a face-to-face to the online. Brilliantly done. But you see, man is a social animal. And if man does not have someone to talk to, they feel lost. And that's what's very, very important, because they see what's a screen in front of them, but they don't see their friends. And what Greenwood has done is we've had what's called a wellness program, where our student counselor, the counselor who looks after the wellness of the children, gives regular sessions to the children in between. So over a week, we have him speaking about how they should speak to each other, etc. And they feel good about it. Also, I must say that in this lockdown, many of my own children, grade 11 and 12, have formed groups. And they are in those groups, they are getting up, getting in connected with their friends across mobiles, etc., speaking to them, keeping them updated on systems. And many times during this lockdown, they just couldn't go out. So they formed groups and they were chatting on groups, speaking on this. So each of them was getting connected electronically. And I so much believe that what is really missing is the physical, to say hi and somebody hears it. When you say hi onto a screen, you only see a flat screen, but there you see a bubbly friend of yours. Good morning, how are things? And the naughtiness in the class, that's missing. You can only mute and unmute, but you can't be naughty. So that's what school life is all about. And I really hope and pray that we will be able to get back to the classroom and, of course, keep the children safe, which is very, very important. And other than giving them the academic skills, they will definitely get. But these are something social skills which are so important in life that so that they will become good citizens and be able to look up to each other in the future. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we know why Greenwood High is such a happy place with a happy, and I think you have a naughty streak in you as well. But it is so cute to see that, sir, because when somebody in such a high position as you are, they don't allow people to see this side of them, the softer side of them. Thank you so much for helping us see a sneak peek into you and the philosophy that you stand for.
May I make a comment? I only hope the parents and kids are not seeing this, so that's the end of me.
Okay.
I am sure they have seen a lot of this with you, sir, and they really appreciate it too.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hope so. Thank you.
There is a question which has come up from the audience. The new thing all schools have started are the online classes, which will introduce new challenges to physical as well as mental fitness. Now, we cannot do sports, but how about avoiding so much screen? So, over to you, Manju ma'am.
Yes, the screen is there and it's going to be there for some time as long as we are homebound. I think as schools, we have the responsibility of also, making the children do a few physical exercises on through the screen. Of course, again, they will be in front of the screen. And at the same time, yeah, we do give them project work and assignments, which would, they cannot go outdoors in any case. So at home, within the home, whatever exercises and physical activities they could do possibly is encouraged. And what we have done is coming to change management, like Dakshayani ma'am said, the children are much, much more adaptable than we adults. And we do have a system of hand holding by the students themselves. We have appointed peer mentors in our school in every class. So, wherein the students themselves are mentors to their friends. Children do not confide so much in a school counselor or in their class teacher as they would to a friend. And so the peer mentors are trained by the school counselors. And apart from this, now in these days, we are also putting up affirmations, positive affirmations every day. So that helps the children to gain more confidence and adapt to the changes that are taking place. Yes, physical activities and fitness has taken a backseat in these times, and though we are trying our best as schools, we do have yoga sessions, we have dance sessions, dance teachers doing a little bit of Zumba for 20 minutes, and these kind of activities. We may not have football on the play field, but we try and do whatever we can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think there was a question on change management. Online, Kannan sir has said, online classes puts a lot of stress on faculty as well as children, probably because of the home atmosphere. How do we bring it down?
Can
Sridhar
I?
sir? Ah, yes, ma'am. Yes.
See, basically, what he's saying is very, very true. I think more than children, it is going to be the teachers because, you don't know when you're sharing your screen, when you need to come back to your mic, whether the video is being heard there or not. They're trying to do their best. The thing is, there are a lot of collaborative tools that are available to have group activities, making them, do something like a Padlet or a Kahoot or using a video in between. They're trying, but they're learning. I pity teachers because they're putting in their 100% to do something. The question of having screen time and issue, every school that I have seen has a 40-minute class and a 15 minutes break between the classes. And many of us are teaching eye exercises for the kids to ensure that they relax and come back. That is also being done. So kids are also stressed because 24 hours in the home. I don't think they've ever stayed. Just pray and hope it'll be over in no time. All the schools are doing their best and we'll keep doing our best and whatever that can be done. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I have seen the wonderful work of teachers online because I have children of my own too. And I must admire the amount of work that has gone in just putting out a video. For the younger children, for juniors, it's a pre-recorded session. And for senior children or middle school children, it's an interactive Zoom session, on a platform, whatever it may be. But the work and, just to bring out a 15-minute video or a 20-minute video, we can, just imagine how much work has happened. And I can see that they are doing their best in actually, make believing the children that it is a real life situation, it is a real life classroom. I can see a teacher saying, okay, have you understood? Or, okay, thank you. This is your answer. I know you thought like this. And my little one goes like, Amma, how can she hear me? So it is as effective as that. So I must congratulate all the teachers out there and all the principals and academicians out there who are striving so hard to make it as seamless as possible. And I must request all the students to have that respect and honor for the teaching community. Sometimes when discipline comes in, we may feel that fun gets lost, but in order to maintain freedom or in order to bring about something sustainable, discipline is also important. Now, coming to discipline, let me ask a question to Sridhar ji. We know that army school is a lot about discipline and regiment, but how do we would like to learn from you, sir. How do we bring about a sense of patriotism in children in other schools, or what do you do in your school that I know like-minded people have enrolled their children there, but despite the discipline, what all do you have? I know you have sports, I know you have games, but we would request you to talk a little more about this and how to bring about patriotism in children.
About discipline, earlier formula for imposing discipline through baton and all those things is gone. It's not permitted. So what we do is we tell the children that if you have to be a leader and you have to control people, you'll have to be first a follower. Learn to be a follower, take instructions, and try to cooperate with your peer group as well as your leader. Because this leadership, there we have got a system of the changing leadership. Today, for 1 week somebody is leader, next week somebody else will be a leader. Okay. That way everybody gets this thing. At the same time that everybody gets opportunity to follow instructions. Following instructions is very, very important. Whichever place is there, even at home. Now we'll have to imbibe that spirit that whatever your parents are saying, it may not be palatable to you. but you'll have to follow instructions. You should learn. Only then you will be able to understand that how to implement it on others. That is first and foremost thing. Second thing is taking commands and having a hierarchy also, like in the parade and other places where we give the appointments, other things. Okay, even though it's all within the school. Okay, that appointment, giving appointments and all those things, that somebody is a head boy, head girl, and squadron leader, and those things. So that gives a sense of pride in them, so that they get into that leadership role, and they also know, other people also know that if I also conduct myself properly, I will also get this appointment. So to get that appointment, it's not your academics, not your extracurricular activities. It's one of the basic things is how you conduct yourself. Your conduct, your attitude is very, very important for you to be picked up as a leader. So all these things we keep watching, and what the children are very, very smart. They know they will pick it up. Initially, they will try to act as if they are disciplined. Subsequently, it becomes a habit, and it becomes a second nature for them. That if a thing has to be done, it has to be done. There is no two way about it. And insisting on certain things like punctuality. If you are not punctual, it is not taken lightly. So, or punctual, I mean, time management. If a job has to be done in a certain time, it has to be done. So, whether they complete it or not, they will ensure that it is handed over in time. So, it is a different other thing. They will be held accountable why they are not complete. But first thing is they will be appreciated that you have done a job which was expected of them. So, these are small things where if you start insisting on this, it slowly imbibes that sense of discipline. And the most important thing is, instead of teaching discipline, you conduct yourself. They are all the time watching. And if you conduct yourself in a disciplined manner, they automatically follow. So
Thank
these are
you, sir. I was just about to, my next question to the panelists were to please share a little bit about yourself as a leader and how you inspire others to be like yourselves. Um, Manju ma'am, over to you.
Could you repeat your question, Gauri?
Yes. How do you inspire others to be a leader like yourself? What is your message to your students to be to have, or to accomplish something, not only the different awards or the different positions, or I know you are also a resource person with CBSE Center of Excellence. Not only that, but as a person, as an individual, as a
Yeah.
personality of yourself.
As a person, I don't know if I consciously inspire the students to be like me, but yes, I do try to set an example myself. I try to be a role model to them in terms of my own values, in terms of my own, whatever I stand for, which I make clear to the children. Whatever I believe in is communicated to them, and I cannot, force them to follow it or to get inspired by me. But hopefully, yes, I am setting an example, and I hope that they are learning from it. I certainly believe in, you cannot demand respect, or you can only command it, and that's by your own personality and what you stand for. And certainly, yes, I think as far as children are concerned, and even the teachers for that matter, my staff, I believe in leading not from the front but leading from the back, which would mean I give them a certain amount of leeway, a certain amount of freedom, and I watch from behind as to what they are up to, and then I step required. I'm like a shepherd of a flock. The flock is there in front of me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gauri.
Aloysius, sir, may I request you to share a message for children and how to be happy like you? May I request you to unmute yourself, sir?
I've always told children to dream. I've always told them to dream. And when you dream, follow your dream. No matter what, you may fall once. Pick yourself up and move ahead. And many of them listen to that and they have followed their dreams. So for me, to my children and to the children of Greenwood High, I've always said through all my messages on graduation, dream big. Don't look at failure, think of it as a stepping stone. And I'll give them an example of a little child. When the child takes the first step, the mother is ecstatic and says, Mera beta to abhi chalne laga. But the child falls, and the mother runs and holds the child. But the child gets away from the mother and takes the second step and moves. So that's an example which I give all of them, that if a little child understands that by falling, he or she is going to walk, don't don't think that failure is something that you should, sit down and, think about. It's a stepping stone to success. And many of them have taken that and moved forward. In all these years at Greenwood, I find two examples. One was a little boy who came to me in grade 6, a very shy child, a child who stood behind his father. His father was the financial director of Deutsche Bank. I remember him very well. And this little boy wanted to play the piano and on the stage. And he came to me and said, Sir, I don't know to play it much, but I want to play. So I convinced the music teacher that he should play. And believe me, that was a change in his life. He became the head boy of the school. He went into university in the US. He represented the Indian community. He finished his master's, and he is today on the board of Deutsche Bank in New York. A boy who was absolutely shy. So the little things that we tell them, it's important. And I always believe that children are brilliant. Of course, as far as my teachers are concerned, I give them a lot of space. I allow them to think. And as Ms. Manju said, I look only from behind to see if everything is right. That's the message I can give to all my students. And I always love them, and I know they will do well in life.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That really touches the heart. Thank you so much. Dakshayani ma'am, yourself?
I will take this opportunity to thank all my teachers because they are the pillars. And, the vision of the school is is transferred into action only by them. They are struggling as housewives because I'm using this as a usage because most of them are ladies. They're trying to balance work life. They're trying to teach, learn and teach. There are comments which come in, and I saw a couple of articles that came in that people were bullying teachers because of their accent or whatever it is. So I feel that you should be proud of what you're doing. You're not experts in technology. You are doing your best only because you want your child's well-being, and that will be taken in the right spirit. It's an honor to be a teacher. I had my guru, Professor N.S. Ramaswamy, who used to tell me that, Shiny, the luckiest thing that can happen in the world is being born as a human being. The next one is being in India, and the third is being the teacher. You have all of these things. Never let go an opportunity where you can actually contribute for the development of a child. I think that's what we are all trying to do. I don't know how far successful. When you said, I need to be motivating others to be like me, I don't know if I am at that stage where I can motivate them to be like me, but definitely I am with them. And whatever little bit that I have done in my life, I feel that my team is doing better than me, and I would like to be with them, and they will definitely do well. And kids, I really want them to be honest, and they should not bother about taking criticism. They'll have to evaluate themselves and find out where they require help. That's all is required. In a team, they have lots of good things. There could be one or two weaknesses. And once they know that's where they require help, the whole school, the whole team of teachers and parents are with them. And the only idea is to make them better and better. So I feel that my being open and honest probably makes teachers to come openly to me and find out what can be done. As Manju ma'am rightly said, I would like to be at the back and then help whomever I can with my limited abilities. But I still believe that there are better teachers who are better than me in my team, and they're all there to share what they have learned. So I feel that I'm blessed to be a teacher, and thank you so much for this opportunity to share.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was so beautiful. Sridhar ji, what message would you like to give to your students and teachers?
Oh, okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I'll give two messages. One is that regarding the pairing. Okay. I think that is very, very important. Any person that gentleman, your bearing is very, very important. How you carry yourself, your attire, how you groom yourself is very, very important. Because if you are properly groomed, properly say, make a proper posture, maintain your health well, maintain your physique well, half your job is done because you made the first impression on anybody. And proper haircut. In my case, of course, it's very easy as far as the haircut is concerned. How you keep your hair, how you groom yourself, that is very, very important. If you don't have to have costly hair and all this, whatever you have, wear it properly. That is first thing. Second thing is preparation, training is very, very important. Because whatever you do, unless you prepare properly for that, then you will not achieve what you uh, aim to achieve. It will not be achieved. Even if a little bit of overtraining is required, a little bit of preparation, over preparation is required, you should do it. So I always make it a point whenever I go on the stage to speak to the children and everything. I always carry a paper with me to show to the people that how much I have prepared, so that I am capable of giving it examples. That's not a. But the children they should imbibe that nothing can be achieved without preparation. And as the military goes, we always believe in that different. If you don't want to bleed in war, you will have to sweat in peace. So that is a message which I like. So that if you put in the effort during your normal time, that this thing, your success is always assured. Many years.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So I think we have crossed our time. We have come to 7:15. You know, I would just like to bring to everybody's attention that when we spoke about students being future ready, the first things that all the eminent panelists have shared have been on human values and life skills. They have all of them are very, very successful academicians and leaders in education. And the skills that they have put forward are leadership skills, human values, compassion, caring and sharing, and bringing and working together in a team, handling criticism, handling emotions, and handling success or failure, or rather, success and failure. So I would like to leave this thought in all of us who are watching us today. Not that academics is not important, not that we don't need to hone ourselves in our professions, but let us also look at inculcating, cultivating, and nurturing these life skills and human values in us. And as Aloysius sir said as he began, that happiness is important. As Manju ma'am had wanted, youth are the ambassadors of our future. Let us invest in them. Invest what? Invest our time, energy, and guidance into leading them into a better future. Personally, I also feel that these are the things that are important. Yes, academics, education is important, but this also has to be part of education. Yes, I think all of us are together in speaking this out, and this is what we have invested as in also as principals and leaders in our schools. This has been quite a very enriching experience for me to listen to all of you, Manju ma'am, Aloysius sir, Sridhar ji, Dakshayani ma'am, to see that you have put human values, humans and children before anything else. It is very humbling for me to hear this from all of you, because a lot of times people look at, yes, of course, we need to get our schools prominent. Of course, we need to show our scores and marks, but there are more to education than just marks. Thank you so much, Dakshayani ma'am, D Mello sir, Manju ma'am, Sridhar ji. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for your coming over and being with all of us. Thank you very much. I wish Arindam ji was here as well, but because of the rains, he is not able to log in. And Mala ji also had to log out because of the rains. But thank you everyone for watching us. This is the Art of Living Children and Teens Facebook page and YouTube Live. Thank you for joining us today. To know more about the Art of Living programs, please follow this scroll, this website, artofliving.org/CT. Thank you very much. Through the Art of Living programs for children and teens, we focus on building their emotional health, their mental health, and physical health. We have the Sudarshan Kriya, which flushes out toxins and increases immunity in children. If you wish to register or enroll your children, please visit the website and go on to the programs. Thank you very much for watching us. Thank you very much, all of you. Stay safe, stay